Hello, my name is Holly Dunn, and this is my professional portfolio. This is my digital presentation where I was talking about a few of my assets. So the first one I'll be talking about is my showreel. My showreel is quite rough at the moment, but I think it shows the best clips that I have of me currently. I'll be adding my showcase footage as well, which I'm really excited to receive because I'm very proud of how that went down and the feedback that I got from it. On the left here is an opportunity that I had with a screen and film school director who, for one of his assessments, needed an actor, and I was very grateful to have the opportunity to have this for my showreel. It is a monologue from Fleabag, which is more of an emotional side of things, which I thoroughly enjoy playing. The top one is more of an aggressive character, which I really enjoy playing as well. The one in the middle is a sweet, innocent, naive girl who just wants to be loved. So I feel like it shows a big contrast of them all. For one of my devising projects, in our first semester of third year at Performers College, we had a module for devising. This sparked great excitement for me as another collaboration process headed my way. The process began with conversations with our teacher and director, Paul Chesterton, who I've made a wonderful professional relationship with. His guidance, kindness, and humour sent me on the road to building my confidence massively and having faith in my choices when creating. I will forever be grateful for the affirmations for me and the work I was devising and directing through this module. Our stimulus was food, so we were told to create a 30-minute performance as a class with attempts to encompass a story about or involving food. With lots of ideas being thrown back and forth, I was learning about how it is to be collaborative with such a big group rather than a small one. Of course, with the amount of people, more came the differences, disagreements, conflicts, which for me is all the more interesting because with that also more brilliant ideas to use. We arrived on the idea of a young boy and his encounter with all the complications of a Christmas dinner with family. The young boy struggled for a moment and was sent to bed early, feeling upset. This follows with 4 dreams that Daniel, the 11-year-old boy, has. The last one was a nightmare of all of the ones before, which include a school disco, a gang-led family where his brother is leaving, which is a reflection of real life, and a therapy session of his family arguing about gravy, which again is a reflection of real life. So this young boy was going through all of these emotions, and we were showing the dreams that 11-year-old might pick up from his family. And mine was the nightmare of all of these. I was writing and directing, devising and creating the movement for the nightmare sequence. I went into this project wanting to write something crazy and out of my comfort zone, while also focusing in on the movement, as this is something that I have a massive love for. I went in with the ideas and goals for my practice, as well as correlating with the plans of the class. I took inspiration from my movement director here at PCOL, Frankie. Over my time here, I've learned so much from Frankie about techniques to do with movement, which I talk about later on as well. I had the opportunity to have some independence when directing my peers. I was a leader in this space and I really enjoyed being the creative leader for my scene. I also had freedom with the lighting and communicated with the lighting technicians and stage manager to fulfill my visions, which I'm massively grateful for the opportunity, and I was really in my element. I thoroughly enjoyed this. My confidence grew massively and I gave myself the right to be the leader in the room while politely listening to everyone else and knowing that what I was saying was actually, it was okay, it was good, and not doubting myself, trusting myself, which is a massive theme in my professional feedback, which is also said later on. Progressive from my last directing position in the directing module, which I have spoken about, my presence in the room created more energy toward the work where my difficulties with the confidence got away with the module of directing. I'm so grateful to have had this chance, and I recognise my development and listen to the work. And it's this module and anything to do with devising has helped me grow my toolbox and my practice so much. The next thing I will be talking about is my writing. In second year, I did a module called Writing for Stage and Screen. This is just a little bit about the writing there. In terms of my development through this module, we had help from guest lecturers, group activities, tasks to get our brain working, all-round insightful classes to spark my storytelling. We went into depth about structure and building the journey, technicalities of styles, directions, and dialogue, which was a completely new world for me. The technicalities of writing a script is definitely something I'm still learning. This module sparked a new excitement for me in my writing. I've started coming up with ideas from everyday life and feel more confident about turning them into creative work. Writing has also helped me think more deeply about the characters that I might play, building my skills as both a writer and a performer. My aim with this film is to help the audience connect emotionally with the characters and understand the reality of their situation. I want to tell stories that encourage empathy and awareness, especially if the experiences may not often have been seen or understood. So this story that I wrote is about my mum when she had cancer when I was 15 in 2017, and it's the story of a conflict for a teenager, where basically given the choice between being a teenager or being a caregiver. It was I definitely like to tell true stories through my writing. Throughout the process, I had a few problems with my time management, which is something I look forward to writing of the previous devised piece, which I spoke about, The Dream of the Rabbit Fiend. I learned that when I begin writing, I find it hard to stop. So it's just having the self-discipline to begin writing. A timetable and deadlines definitely helped this with my improvement. I had learnt the way I like to write, which is in terms of meaning, devices, metaphors for the writing, using the space, visuals, sound as reflections of the story I'm telling. My style is naturalistic, narrative, and descriptive, and I want to continue writing experiences for people to tell their story and bring awareness. I also like the idea of developing comedy writing and exploring experimental films. I also look forward to working on this script even more, because I do feel like it could be taken a lot further. So One Man, Two Guvnors was a play that we did in just a few weeks ago in our final year, it was our grad play. This was an incredible opportunity. It was directed by Paul Chesterton. The all-round vibes for this play were brilliant. I learned so much. I never thought I could do comedy, so I proved myself wrong in that. There was a huge confidence difference between this and everything else that I had done in improvisation. Anything to do with clowning, commedia dell'arte previously just flew and completely created this whole new vibe for me in confidence that I hope to have sat on the stage and owned the presence and owned the space and everything like that. Imposter syndrome and confidence issues definitely came in towards the end, because I had been on this massive high for so long and believed in myself, and everybody was really hyping me up as well. There was absolutely no reason for me to lack confidence in terms of opinions of other people or notes or anything. It was all just in my mind. So that's something that I'm still working on, which I think is very, very normal. And I validate it and allow myself to breathe through it and just center myself on the stage and realize to think more with the character rather than have the actor brain when all the hard work is already done. So that was my main what I overcame in this process. Other than that, it was absolutely incredible. The fact that I completed a comedy was out of this world if you were to tell my first year self that, and I'm incredibly grateful for this. I've had a few experiences with on-set short films, and I've learnt alongside the student crew, the directors, enlightening all of us of the vibes of the industry to getting us ready. I've also had screen lessons throughout my time at Performers College. These classes have helped me gain knowledge on film set, different job roles, as I'm very interested in being behind the camera as well. Working with others, working with directors, picking up notes. We were also able to do a little voiceover work, which was really cool. It's very brief, but I would definitely like to do more of this. The first slide of photos is from behind the scenes from the short film Wish that our teacher and director Steve Rahane wrote. I did enjoy this process and learnt so much about the ways of the screen and how to develop this side of acting. Steve was an amazing director. He even let us assistant direct, script supervise, and help behind the camera for our peers' short films. Overall, the experience was very helpful, and I take a lot forward to my screen career. I hope I have the chance to have more depth with characters on screen and the opportunity to do that. I also look forward to receiving this footage, and this will also be put on my show reel as well, which will be very interesting. These are pictures of examples of behind the scenes from student films that I've done. There are also clips in my show reel for more examples, sorry. Thank you so much for listening.